UFO Kamen Yakisoban is a downright
weird Japanese game.
Not just in premise, but also in its overall existence. Cooked up by the UFO Yakisoba company themselves and served exclusively on the Super Famicom, this strange yet by-the-numbers beat-em-up is much like instant noodles itself. Enjoyable for a few minutes before it's cold and stale. Yet, it's a cheap meal you come back to on occasion. The story, with like 50 quotation marks around it, has UFO Man's bride getting kidnapped mid-wedding by the evil Kettler. And wait, hold on a second. Is that a Yakisoba planet with noodle rings? God, this game is dumb. Anyways, you know the rest. We gotta get her back by defeating everything the Kettler can throw at us. UFO Kamen Yakisoban is pretty short, only lasting a mere 5 stages, each of which have a few different screens and backdrops to keep the game from stagnating. On your quest to save your nude wife, short for noodle wife, you'll find yourself cleaning up trouble on the streets and at the temples, finding your way through an amusement park which helms a particularly awesome haunted house section, and you even find yourself duking it out in a fancy restaurant, which seems a bit ironic since instant ramen and yakisoba are the last things that come to mind when I think fine dining establishment. Throughout the levels, you're met with quite the lineup of enemies. You'll spend a good majority of the game beating up an endless supply of Blues Brothers, kettlehead dudes on roller skates. This game reaffirms that clowns are weird and creepy as they throw up balloons. Hey man, keep that to yourself. I really don't want to know what's floating down there. So make sure you give them an extra 1-2 punch. There are these annoying stilted women that I think might be a reference to some sort of food item, but I can't tell. To me, they just kind of look like the mama from Dusk. Speaking of food, I love the small shots across the bow at other popular Japanese food items of the time, like the evil Pocky Stick packets that shoot Pocky at you, or the green tea dragons that hurl themselves at you in tiny teacups. But wait a minute, are there no athletic fat guys in this game? No? Then is this really a beat-em-up? I mean, come on. Of course, we have an equally wacky lineup of bosses, including a mechanized okonomiyaki stand, a haunted kumwad, and this annoying fork boss. I guess you could say he's a real prick. And in true Japanese fashion, to end each boss battle, UFO Man's crotch lights up as he shoots ramen from his loins to capture the bad guy. Never change, Japan. Never change. The combat that follows is stupid simple. You basically have 4 attacks, and from the footage alone, I'm sure you can tell which one is the most competent. The punch is your go-to move, as it's fast and can lead into a small combo to make quick work of most foes. You also have a rolling kick and dive to take out enemies from across the screen. This is performed by double tapping a direction and pressing the attack button. It also serves the dual purpose of swiftly rolling out of the way of danger if done correctly. Then we have the jump kick. This attack really brings to light how stiff and janky the controls are. With the noticeable delay between pressing the jump button and it actually happening, successfully landing a jump kick becomes a chore and was a move I made little attempt to use. Although, after a level or two, I kind of adapted to the game's crap factor and was able to grasp the timing a little better. And lastly, there's the charge shot, which will allow you to drench your foes with a compressed blast of yakisoba sauce. Yeah, get sauce! Oh, and let's not forget the unicycle power-up. Just look at it. Ugh, it's beautiful. In case you couldn't tell, this grants temporary invincibility and extra strength. Despite all of its shortcomings and jank, I just can't bring myself to hate this game. I mean, it's just so weird and niche that I just can't help but enjoy it in a so bad it's good kind of way. I mean, it really is just one of those kinds of games. And while it doesn't come close to the wackiness or fun of other games on the system like Gourmet Sentai Barayado, it still gets a small recommendation on novelty alone. But unlike an actual dish of UFO Yakisoba, the game commands a shockingly high price tag at the moment, with most copies on eBay going for well over the $50 to $100 mark. And I don't know why. Just a year or two ago, it was selling for $5 to $12. Hell, I got my copy for a laughable 99 cents back then. I mean, there is a version with a cover variant, but even the more common one is still pricey nowadays. It should go without saying, do not buy this game at these prices. But if you see it going for under $20, maybe pull the trigger. Next time you're in the mood for a weird Japanese game, maybe consider a serving of UFO Kamen Yakisoban. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this episode, consider checking out these other videos right here, or even subscribing. Also, if you'd like to throw me a couple of bucks, you can support the show on Patreon.